But that was really fun though. That was interesting. Right. So next up, I want to give this a try again. So this is a deck I built ages ago and resuscitated earlier. This is a Kolmar deck. Tempo is the most important thing in today's Duelyst. I would say the tempo is the most important thing in Duelyst, period. Like, I don't think there was ever a Duelyst meta that, maybe at least since I've been playing, that didn't end up with a tempo or tempo-ish deck being on top. Especially after like nerfs from busted aggro decks or whatever. Yeah, so this is a Kolmar deck. The basic idea is you play a bunch of crappy cheap 2-drops. You play a bunch of crappy 2-drops and Blood Tier Alchemist. In this case, 18 of them in total, but you can play more. The previous build had like 22 or something. You play this and you get rid of all of them, and the rest of your deck is ways to kill your opponent. So we have Wild Inceptor / Eggmorph plus Greater Fortitude, which is the famous Ragnora combo. That's 6 mana for 10 damage. And we have Decimus and Tectonic Spikes, which is 7 mana for 9 damage. And Tectonic Spikes also allows us to draw cards, which is great if we end up using the 2-drops early game to help take board. And Spikes can also, later on find a small burst. There's also some Mercantor Warbeasts and some Flash Reincarnations, which are helpful for Kolmaring early, getting out powerful, double Decimus combos and that sort of thing. I'm not sure about the Flashes, but I think Flash Kolmar is probably one of the best things we can be doing. So, the changes from the previous version of this list, the last one had Thumping Wave Elucidator instead of Decispikes. I think Decispikes does fit the deck better. It's 1 less damage for 1 less mana, which is a big deal. Right, 1 less damage is fine, 1 less mana is huge. And it allows us to run a draw spell, which we didn't previously have, because it would have taken up space that could have been better used with combos, which in turn means we don't need to be quite so card economical in the early game with all these bad cards we have to play in order to turn on Kolmar's ability. So yeah, the last time I played this deck, I went 14-1 and then retired it because it was so consistent it was boring. So I'm curious to see if I can replicate the effect with a different combo.